Hi guys, and welcome to my latest good deed video. Today's one is going to be focusing on Enterprise, specifically the season 4 three-parter, Babel 1, United and the Enar, episodes 12, 13 and 14. Now in this episode, Archer is called upon to transfer some Tellarite ambassadors through Andorian space to Babel 1 to settle trade and all other disputes between the Andorians and the Tellarites, who appear to be attacking each other's ships. But analysis of the events actually leads to Archer discovering that there's a hidden aggressor in the form of the Romulans, who fear an alliance in the sector. So the Romulans have been sending out a drone ship from their homeworld, a prototype, which can mimic any other ship in terms of like have like a sort of holographic matrix on board, so it can actually reconfigure itself to look like any other ship. And the pilot is controlling the ship is a subspecies of the Andorians called the Enar, which they're actually highly telepathic, and this individual is being forced to do it against his will. So in this three-parter, Archer tries to bring the Andorians and Tellarites together, and eventually, along with the Vulcans, in setting up a grid to stop the drone ship from getting through. And the ships have to work together and trade communication codes and put aside their differences, because obviously in the past you've had Vulcans and Andorians at each other's throats, and obviously the Andorians and the Tellarites, and only through Archer and humanity sort of being asked to sort of mediate the disputes have they managed to remain neutral and stop any sort of war breaking out between the three of them. So the good deed is literally just Archer bringing these three species together, who are quite different in a lot of ways, but putting aside their preconceptions and past sort of history in coming together for a common, for a common cause and facing a threat. And it's wonderful in the fact that this introduces the idea of the UFP, which is the United Federation of Planets. Eventually, in 2161, where they would sign the charter, and it would encompass hundreds of worlds and species coming together for trade and protection and just generally coexisting peacefully. And this is what Archer does in 2154. Is the start of that process, which obviously leads on to sort of the coalition and then eventually obviously the Federation. And it's quite a wonderful good deed in the fact that at the time, if you're thinking in the perspective of Archer, you think this will have a certain impact. I mean, Shran says to him, "Oh, I believe one day ships will be named after us," his ship and obviously Enterprise. And it's the fact that he understands this is an important event because he knows eventually what the Federation will be, because the time traveller and Agent Daniels tells him. And it's just the fact that at that time you just don't realise the full impact of it, and it's like a nice snowball effect. This thing leads to this thing, leads to this thing. And obviously without what Archer did, well, who knows where we would be today in terms of the Federation, would it have actually ever existed? Who knows? Interesting question. But that's just a good deed that I wanted to highlight. It's just a nice one that is the literally underpinning of what humanity is all about in terms of going out there and exploring amongst the stars and making alliances with other species and peacefully coexisting and put simply bettering humanity itself and striving to fulfil their potential even more so than they already have up to that point. So that's the end of this good deed. I hope you have enjoyed watching it, and if you have any other comments or suggestions for future episodes or anything, then please feel free to comment below. The next two good deeds will be for December month, will be something from the animated series, which is thanks to Simon for this suggestion, because the animated series tends to be forgotten about, and also another debate type one, like the Janeway one I did in October, which was should Janeway have stranded her crew in the Delta Quadrant. Feel free to check that out. It will be something along those lines, so keep your eyes peeled open for that. So feel free to check us out on our Facebook, Twitter, blogger page, and our website, and look out for our latest podcast on Podomatic. And also feel free to check out our other videos on our YouTube channel. So until then, take care of yourselves, guys, and I'll be back soon. Bye.